Well, the Mayor of London has a crucial role in overseeing the scrutiny of the Metropolitan Police. And today his predecessor, Ken Livingstone, who's also Labour's candidate in next year's election, weighed into the debate over the police response to phone hacking. Here's our political correspondent, Carl Mercer.
If there's a focus on the news of the world and on the Met Police, then there's also pressure on the politicians who'll battle for control of London next year. The Mayor in charge as the scandal is unfolding, and the challenger who is in charge when much of the phone hacking and paying of police officers by the news of the world was happening. Today, criticism from Ken Livingstone of Boris Johnston, that he failed to treat the matter seriously enough. This was the Mayor last September, talking to the London Assembly, after the initial Met inquiry that claimed only a limited number of phones had been hacked.
I think it's, patently politically motivated, and unless there are significant new facts brought into the public domain that actually change the police case or the potential make necessary a fresh look at it, then I don't propose to change my views. This is a load of codswallop cooked up by the Labour Party, and that we don't intend to get involved in it.
For a period while this was going, he chaired the Metropolitan Police Authority himself. He should have asked, as these things bubbled up, is there any truth? He should have pushed them. And clearly he sat there and they rubbed his tummy and he said, oh, that's all right then, and wandered off. Because they're all his mates.
That's an accusation rejected by City Hall, who say the Mayor reacted on the information he was given last year. As the hacking stories develop, though, his stance has moved considerably.
I think, and I'm very clear about this, and I know that the Commissioner is clear about this, that there's got to be a strong sense that the investigation into this has got to be independent.
Both main challengers for the mayoralty will be watching that investigation very closely indeed. Carl Mercer, BBC London News.
Earlier I spoke to Kit Malthouse, Deputy Mayor for Policing and Chair of the Metropolitan Police Authority. This was before the announcement that the News of the World is to close. I began by asking him when it emerged in the summer of 2009 that the phone hacking scandal was much bigger than first thought. Did he or the Mayor ask the Met to look into it?
Well, we've obviously been discussing the investigation with the Met in strategic terms on a regular basis, but you have to be aware that this is an operational policing matter. The decision to investigate is one for the Commissioner and the Commissioner alone.
Did you or the Mayor personally ever ask anyone in the Met how many people potentially or whose phones could have been hacked, given what was going on?
No, and frankly, Riz, it would have been improper for us to do so. It would be highly improper for elected politicians to interfere in that level of detail in a police investigation. We have to be very careful not to step over the line in terms of operational policing. We need to be satisfied from a governance point of view that the police are doing their job. But those decisions around how, where and what evidence they pursue and how they investigate are absolutely the job of the police.
But as the chair of the body that scrutinises the Met and holds the Met to account, wouldn't you be asking about the extent of potential abuse here rather than the detail itself? Wouldn't you have been concerned that there may have been widespread abuse going on here?
Well, we were obviously concerned about it, and as I say, there were discussions where we asked the Commissioner and others whether they were content that in the light of the evidence that had been presented to them, that they had rigorously and properly conducted the investigation.
As recently as September last year, to the London Assembly, the Mayor dismissed all this as codswallop. Do those comments, in a sense, perhaps sum up how you and the Mayor's office didn't take this seriously enough the way through, from the moment July 2009, that these allegations of thousands of people's phones being hacked came to light?
No, I realise it's attractive to try and revise history and sort of reinvent what happened in the past. But in the light of the evidence that was available at the time, and in the light of what was apparent and the claims that were being made even in parts of the media, I think the Mayor's view then was right.
When yourself and Boris Johnston came into power on the basis of holding the Metropolitan Police to account, people want to know, did you take these things seriously enough? Did you ask the right questions? And are you confident that you weren't misled if you did indeed ask those right questions?
Well, first of all, yes, we did take it seriously. Secondly, I think we did ask the right questions. But thirdly, we were not elected on phone hacking. We were elected on teenage killings, knife crime, people being mugged, robbed, burgled in the capital. And we've made significant progress